Stone remembers storms. High above the broken lands, above the iron valleys and the rusted bones of forgotten kings, a tower stands where the wind never rests. The tower is older than memory, older than the cities that crumble below it, older than the flags that once tried to name the sky. At the top of that tower is a narrow window carved into the westward sky wall. And in that window stands the Watchman. One man, one tower, one eye open to eternity. He does not blink often, because what he sees is not meant for sleep. Signs. I, the first sight. What does the one eye of the Watchman see? He sees the sun drowning slowly in a crimson sea of clouds. The horizon bleeds into the mountains, and the mountains fade into smoke. The sky is a battlefield where the light fights its last war before night. He sees dust rising from the long road. Armies, always armies, marching like ants across the spine of the earth. Men in steel, men in rags, men carrying banners stitched with pride and lies. Every army believes it is the final one. The Watchman has seen too many to count, 'cause every generation sends its sons to war, believing they are the first to bleed. But the Watchman knows the war began long before they were born. One by one. What does the Watchman see? He sees time marching not as numbers on a clock, but as soldiers. Seconds like footsteps, minutes like battalions, hours like iron legions. They march across the valley of existence in endless lines. One by one, one by one, one by one. Every moment is another soldier entering the battlefield, and none of them return. The Watchman does not try to stop them. No one has ever stopped time. He only watches. He only watches. He only watches. He only watches raid, fear, vine. Those are the termites of kingdoms. And the Watchman always sees them long before the walls collapse. The Watchman also sees the small things, the things kings never notice. A child running through the dust chasing a wooden wheel. A mother lighting a candle for a son who never returned from war. Two lovers whispering promises beneath a dying star. These are the quiet victories of the world. Small flames burning against the wind. The Watchman respects those flames more than he respects the crowns of kings. Because love survives longer than power. The watched is where the storms are born. The Watchman sees them long before the thunder speaks. Dark mountains of cloud rising like ancient beasts. Lightning carving runes across the sky. Rain falling like the tears of a forgotten god. Storms remind the Watchman that the earth itself is alive. And hangmen, storms erase roads. They float cities. Or remind men that the sky has always been stronger than their walls. Yet every generation builds again. Stubborn creatures, beautifully stubborn.
He only watches, 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 he only watches.
There are darker things the watchman sees, things that do not march in daylight. Shadows move across the hills when the moon is thin. Whispers travel through the forest where the wind does not blow. The watchman has seen creatures that kings would call myths. Old powers, older than the tower, older than the sky wall. He does not name them. Some truths are safer as silence. Sometimes the watchman wonders why he was chosen. Why one man must watch while the rest of the world sleeps. Why one eye must carry the burden of sight. But then he remembers something the first watchman once carved into the stone of the tower. The words are worn now, but they still whisper through the centuries. To watch is to remember. And memory is the only weapon against oblivion. The final sight.
When the watchman sees something new, something no watchman has ever seen.
The final storm.
In the marvelous march of time, the moment when the world itself becomes a memory.
But until that day arrives, he remains.
One
eye open
to the west, watching, waiting,
remembering.
waiting. Because if no one watches the world,
Then it disappears without a witness.